Welcome back, guys. This video is a little different. So this story is about Sandile Shezi. So Sandile is a 29 or 30-year-old, well, he's 29 as of today, South Africa millionaire. And it's unfortunate his situation is a little different than what we've seen in the past with these Forex scammers. This individual, he's a young guy. He grew up in poverty, as he tells his story, all over South Africa. He grew up in poverty. He went to school, to college. He got a diploma, is what they get in South Africa. Over here in the States, we call it a degree, but he got a diploma in technology. And he went on to start this huge Forex training class. Actually, at the time, I think he stated he was trading or teaching individuals to trade stocks at the time. So he started this huge school or training camp that would amass these crowds, and he became very popular. So then he stated he's seen a gap in the Forex market. So he switched over to Forex. So of course, there's a lot of scams around Forex, as we already know. There's individuals who claim they make tons and tons of money, but his approach was to teach individuals how to trade the basics of Forex, and he did it for free. All right, so he teamed up with the individual who taught him how to trade Forex, which was a guy by the name of George Van der Riet, I believe. So they teamed up together. This individual had been trading supposedly for 15 years or so. I'm not sure if it was Forex or stocks, but he teamed up with this individual. They became business partners, and they started the Global Forex Institute. So you can go and research that and look that up. It's still out there today. It's still up and running. Not sure what the future holds for it, but it's still up and running. So they started this organization teaching individuals how to trade the Forex market. All right, so the Forex market is a little dicey. It's unregulated. There's a lot of scams out there for it. So this kid, he seems to he did everything right initially. Now the problem comes in as the market shifts and you're not making money from Forex. You need money to fund or sustain your organization. I believe they had a building or a program over in South Africa. So I believe what happened was he got pressed for funds. He wasn't making any money trading Forex. It's very hard to remain consistent in Forex over the long term. All right, if you're bringing in money, let's just say a lot of people jump into Forex because they don't have a lot of money, or it's a low barrier to entry, not regulated. They offer very high leverage. You can take $1,000 and trade a $10 lot size or $10 per pip. That would be equivalent to just an unheard of thing in the stock market. That's why many US brokers don't allow that high amount of leverage. And Forex is a low barrier to entry, where you can take those low amounts, $50, $1,000, and you can pretty much bet everything and you can lose everything. So what he did was he started this school, and he was all over the news, prominent businessman, and he still is. And I believe he ran into some trouble there, and he needed money to sustain himself. So at one of his conferences, someone came forward and stated that they was told that they didn't need to come back to the conference to learn how to trade Forex. They needed to invest with him or into his business, and in turn, they would, over the course of a year or a certain period of time, he would return a certain amount of money. So he was basically asking for an investor, and I believe he was doing that because the business was taking a turn for the worse. He needed money or capital to sustain himself. So as the individual invested, that time went by and they did not receive a return. This person stated that they invested 200,000 Rand. It was a school teacher who stated that they borrowed the money from family. In South Africa, 200,000 Rand is equivalent to about $12,000 or $13,000. All right. Now his business partner came forward and stated that it's a case of greed. All right. He didn't mention anything about the business needing shareholders or investors. He said it's simply a case of greed, where this young individual was just greedy. He's asking for money and defrauding people out of greed. You can see on his Instagram page and other places where he has a G-Wagon, a Maserati, a nice house and these things, which is not really anything wrong with that. I mean, it's typical of the Forex market today, or individuals who want to flaunt their wealth. You see them with these fancy cars, and if you're making enough money to purchase these cars, yeah, flaunt it if you're doing it legally. But this individual, his business partner, stated that he was obtaining these funds from these individuals out of greed. And he also stated that he defrauded the company upwards of 500,000 Rand, which in US dollars, that's about $31,000. And a couple of months ago, he was arrested. He turned himself in, and now he's awaiting trial. I believe he posted bail, but he's awaiting trial. So this young individual who did everything right, went to school, dug his way out of poverty. He has a nonprofit organization. He actually founded the Global Forex Institute over in South Africa that appears to be doing, or was doing, great things. This huge crowd. You know, a lot of times in Forex, it's not about teaching individuals how to make money. It's just about teaching them the basics, and then they could take that and run with it. But it looks like that he may run into some trouble. We don't know how this is going to play out just yet. So this is not a typical case of just an outright Forex scammer that we've seen. This is a case of someone who was teaching Forex, who wanted to improve the community, or at least it started out that way, who ran into some trouble. And it could be the case of individuals hating on him. I mean, he's a clean, very sharp individual. You see him with a suit on. He's standing in front of a Maserati. He has a G-Wagon. So it could be a little bit of jealousy or hate or fallout between the business partners. So we don't have a lot of details just yet. His case is set for review, I believe, toward the end of January. And at that point, we are expected to see additional information as to why he was arrested, or what happened or transpired with this school teacher, or if there's any other individuals who will come forward and state that they were defrauded or asked to invest. But Sandile he's claiming his innocence. He says he does not trade Forex for individuals. In fact, in one of his YouTube clips, I believe he stated that the scammers entice individuals to give individuals money to trade on their behalf. So he knows that's a scam. He knows about that, and he knows about the trouble that individuals run into. So I don't personally see him doing that. However, he was arrested for something, and they must have some type of proof to arrest him. So I'm interested to see what that is, and I hope it's not the case where this young, successful individual has defrauded anyone. At one point in one of his other interviews, he mentioned running into problems initially with capital. So it sounds like a situation where he went out and just asked an individual to invest in his company. He was trying to raise money. That's what it sounds like, but according to his business partner, that's not what it was. It was greed. So it will be interesting to see how this story plays out and what comes of the additional findings and facts of this case.